All right, everyone, here we go with the thank you reading for April 2024. It's my way of thanking you guys for anybody that's ever given me a nickel for anything I do around here, be it an extended purchase or a donation, whatever. It is much appreciated. We're going to do something a little different with this reading, okay? Because of the energy that's around right now, we're going to do something a little special. I always pull on you for these readings, but if you'll let me, I'm going to pull on your soul. All right. If you won't let me, you got to just shut off the video right now. But I'm going to pull on your soul energy, and I'm going to see if you're on the right road, if you're on the right path, and maybe, if not, make some suggestions for how you can get on the right path. I'm going to shuffle the deck now as I'm talking. Everybody in this life has a dharma. You have a purpose. Everything in nature has a purpose. Every plant, every animal, it's a delicate balance. Human beings have a purpose as well. It's a slightly higher purpose possibly, but it is a purpose. Everything in nature, like I said, has a purpose. Even things that we call weeds, dandelions, for example, have a purpose. They clean the soil. When they're blooming, they're cleaning. They're in cleaning mode. When they die, they've finished. That's what they do. That's their purpose in nature. A lot of people like to pick them out and throw them away. A lot of professional gardeners keep them around because they clean the soil. It's what they do. That being said, that's just an example. We'll see if you're on the right path. See if you're on the right track, right? Because you can't get, a lot of people, most human beings, in nature it's easy. The animals and the plants do what, they just do it. They don't think about it. They don't have complex brains to overcomplicate things. They just do it. The flower doesn't think about blooming, it blooms. The dandelion doesn't think about its job, it just does it, right? Human beings, on the other hand, well, most people aren't living their life's true purpose. They sit around and wonder why, or their soul's true purpose, their dharma, right? They sit around and wonder why everything I try fails, every business I try fails, I do this, it fails. Why is my life the way it is? Because you're on the wrong road. That's why. It's that simple. You're just on the wrong road. You can't get to point B if you're on the road that leads to point D. You're never going to get there. So we'll just see how aligned you are. Now this is for the majority. It can't be for everybody. It's just not possible mathematically or possible within the energy. So I'm having the universe pull on the majority. But I encourage you, before you dismiss this reading and go, oh, he said I'm not on my soul's true path. I know I am. All that kind of stuff. Just try not to get triggered. Right? Try to make sure. Try to get yourself in a neutral place where you can look at things objectively. Right? You don't try to prove your theories right or wrong. You question them. That's all. The same applies here. Same principle applies here to something like this. So let's find out. Let's pull on your souls. Those of you that will let me. That is. All right? Let's go. Let's see where we're at here. All right. Three of Swords is at the bottom. The environmental energy round, I'm pulling on your soul. The environmental energy is three swords fueled by the Ace of Cups, which is just, it's all just in the cup there. And after that comes the Magician, which is the one card in the major arcana. It's where the journey kind of begins. You're gathering up and all of that. For most of you, I can tell from the overall, well, not the overall energy, but the environmental energy, that there is a past pain. There's some sort of pain that's jamming you up, okay? It's preventing you from, well, I don't want to say moving forward. I'm not going to say you're on the wrong road. It's just like having a bunch of junk in your trunk, so to speak, all right? In the trunk of the car. Let's see where we go. That Three of Swords is going to cross the center card I pull. Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, and what's red with the Queen of Pentacles? The Fool. So again, we have the Fool card, the Zero card in the major arcana. We have the Magician, the One card in the major arcana. All right, this is it didn't have another Magician to throw me, and so it threw me this. Okay, and this is about truth. It's about facing the truth about a past pain. Now, for some of you, this has nothing to do with your runner. It's none of my business, but this is something that might have happened to you early in your life or something like that. There's something that you're holding on to, and it's putting a lot, it's like driving around with a weight set in your trunk. It's slowing your car down, so to speak. I don't see anything here where people are on the wrong, completely wrong road. what I see here is there's an epiphany that needs to be had, some sort of truth that needs to be looked at about whatever this Three of Swords is to you, and it's different for all of you. Okay? It's not going. There's no one thing I could say here. Maybe you had a handsy uncle. I don't fucking know. It could be that. It could be for some of you just love just keeps going wrong. Steve, why does love keep going wrong? Well, it's because of this, whatever this is. The energy right now, the reason I'm pulling this reading now, a very unique thank you reading, because I don't usually pull on your soul, I just pull a reading for you. The reason I'm doing it now is the energy is conducive to some serious epiphanies. We got that Mercury retrograde energy I was talking about, right? It locks you in. It takes you for a ride. And like I said in the extended for that, sometimes some old fears come up, right? It'll happen. Whatever this is what's slowing you down, all right? Once you get past this, Queen of Pentacles, a feeling of a peaceful, easy feeling, if you will, which then leads to a whole new journey, or at least you're going a lot faster on the road you're on. Now, if I'm to take this energy, in case somebody out there, and I know you're out there, is saying, I don't have anything like that, Steve, I've looked at all of it. Bullshit. First of all, it could be something very minor, something it doesn't have to be something major. You'd be surprised how little things that people don't look at, they sweep it under the carpet. It festers. Anything you sweep under the carpet festers, right? You'd be surprised. But just to paraphrase this energy, I would say the vast majority of you are on the right track. You're just being slowed down. Now, a lot of people that come here to my channel in particular are very spiritual indeed. I'm going to leave that Three of Swords right there, and we're going to clarify some things with the witches. Let's talk, which randomly at the bottom has a Hierophant. Wow. Let's take a look at the Ace of Swords, this truth, this epiphany that needs to be had. There's something you got to figure out. That Three Swords is jamming you up. It really is. It's keeping a lot of love locked up in that Ace of Cups. It transforms very quickly once you look at this. Doesn't have to be a big deal. For some of you, it's a big deal. It's something you'd rather not look at. Fine. If that's the case, go see a professional. Have them help you. You know, this is success right here with these. This is prosperity for sure. Queen of Pentacles. Are you fucking kidding me? And this Fool here, this is adventures, new journeys, things along those lines. You could you could become a whole new person. You could be who you were meant to be, right? Sort of like that energy of that Mercury retrograde reading, right? Where we talked about it. This energy is conducive to you realizing it's not too late to be what or who you might have been. All right. Well, I'm pulling on the Ace of Swords right now. Yeah. It flew out of the deck. It's the Five of Swords. What's red with the Five of Swords? The Empress. And it's crossed by, all of that is crossed by the Three of Pentacles. A card we can't get rid of lately. This is your linchpin here, if you will. It's the Five of Swords. It's false victory. Some of you, I'm just going to phrase it this way, and I'll take some of the blame for it, possibly. I might have to. Maybe. Because the way the energy reads, some of you are taking the fact that you come up as Empress and Queen of Pentacles quite a bit in my readings, right? And just assuming that's absolutely, oh, I must be already there. That's your false victory where you shortchange yourself on a solid new beginning. There's a solid new beginning hovering around here. But there's one more truth related to this Three of Swords that needs to be felt before you actually do attain the energy of the Empress and the Queen of Pentacles. So when I get it, when it comes up in my readings that you read, that you keep coming up as that's your potential. It's there. It's right there on the surface. In fact, I can tell you, especially with the Five of Swords here, but I can tell you this Three of Swords, I could almost reach out and touch it. It's right there on the surface. You may have carpet swept this a long time ago, swept it under the carpet, but it's out now. Some kind of wind blew it out, and it's just out there in the room, out in the open. All right? So it's right there. So again, don't just assume, well, I come up as the Empress in the readings, just giving that as an example. I must be Empress energy. I must be there. I must be high vibration. No, especially because deep down you know there's still something else that you need to look at, and that something else is because it's on the surface. It's very important. All right, it's extremely important. I mean, with a weight set in the trunk of a car, you know, you could have a car that does 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. It won't do 0 to 60 in 15 seconds with a weight trunk with weights in the back. You know, it's not going to do that. They don't test them that way. You know, they'll say, put the weights in the back. We're going to do the road and track test now. They don't do that. This is very important. I may pull on that separately, which I'm going to do right now. Tell me about the Three of Swords. Tell me more about this Three of Swords energy. All right? And don't just give me another Ace of Cups, universe. I get it. I get it. All right? Whatever it is. It can be very small. I know there's a large number of people who are here who are wanting to dismiss this reading. They're like, oh, well, he's just, you know, fuck this guy, right? That kind of thing. That's you being triggered. You know, if you truly didn't have this, you'd have no reaction at all, right? You know, that everybody's got something. This is very specific, though. I'm not saying you got to sort out all the Three of Swords, but you know deep, deep, deep down which one this is, okay? There's one, it's one thing, right? That might tie to other things. Things tend to, energy is all connected, so things tend to daisy chain, but it's the one root cause of it all, right? And again, it could just be you're holding on too much to someone that ran from you. It's possible. It's possible, but I think it's much older energy than that for the vast majority of you. You know, rewatch the Mercury retrograde reading. Ask yourself, are you doing things, is there something maybe you're just doing to please other people, right? Like we talked about in the extended when I pulled on you, right? That's a very important section of that reading in the extended, where I took the final message from the universe and just went to town on it, right? All right, let's go. Let's talk about this Three of Swords. All right. It's not my job to convince you to take the reading. It's just my job to read the energy, all right? And if you need professional help with whatever this is, get it. It's fine. It's no big deal. It's nothing to be ashamed of, talking to people, all that kind of stuff. All right, here we go. Three of Swords. Why is it here? Tell me more about it. Yeah. It's crossed by the Ten of Cups. It's a real bubble burster. This is for a good, now again, it's not for all. It can't be. But for a good number of you, this card came out for the majority. It's something that happened that burst your bubble a little bit at some point. Okay? It's a real bubble burster. And if you think about it, these Three Swords could easily pop balloons, right? You know, maybe, who knows? Maybe it was some kind of dream that got thwarted, right? But it probably thwarted by someone else, by other people, through discouragement or whatever, and you never did it. That was your soul's true purpose. It's possible. It's entirely possible. It's some kind of bubble that got popped, all right? Whatever it is. And again, it can also be much deeper and much heavier for some people. It can be. It could be that handsy uncle that ruined your childhood. It could be that. But either way, you got to take it out of the box and look at it and deal with it, because it slows you down. It ruins love relationships. It might even ruin career relationships and partnerships of all kinds. Whatever it is, big or small, it's something that popped a bubble of some kind. All right, what's on top? The Chariot. You glazed over it. You carpet swept it. You just think of a chariot just blowing by you on the street, right? Pulled by a couple of horses, blows right by. Just there it goes. Bye-bye. It's gone. It's out of here. The soulmate cycle, this card represents this soulmate cycle for me, because this current soulmate cycle is Cancerian themed. The soulmate cycle, you're in the soulmate cycle to take a look at this. It's designed to bring this to the surface. The soulmate cycle is what brought whatever this is to the surface. It is on the surface. It's in the environmental energy, right? It was at the bottom of the deck. Why is the Chariot here? The Eight of Swords. Yeah, you carpet swept it. It's something that popped a bubble, and you just glazed over it, thinking, well, whatever, you know, maybe you're a tough guy, tough girl, right? Stiff upper lip, all that kind of stuff. That's bullshit. You can't be like that. You can't have this kind of baggage going around, even if it's something small. It's keeping you trapped, right? The moment you carpet swept it, it had you. And it might be something that you just don't want to look at, because every time you do, you get an 8 swords. This card is my triggering card, right? People that get triggered, you got to just let them come out of the 8 swords. You know, you might be reluctant to look at this, whatever that 3 of swords is, because you know it's going to trigger you and it's going to cause, it's going to mess me up for weeks and weeks and weeks. The universe is saying that's fine under this energy. It's okay. And again, if you need a professional to help you with it, if it's something big, get that. The energy is conducive to fixing this right now. This is what this energy is. It's what this retrograde is all about in particular, right? Something that popped a bubble. Popped some kind of bubble. All right. All right. It's a real ruiner energy. It really is. Now, it's enough of that. That's all I can tell you. All right. The good news is, aside from this, which is just a car driving around with a weight set in the trunk, right? Rooted in 3 swords. That was carpet swept. You are on the right path. You guys are on the... You could reach out and touch Empress or Queen of Pentacles energy. Just if you assume that you can glaze over this, that's a false victory. That's not true. Okay? Keep that in mind. Pull on the Queen of Pentacles right now. Tell me about the Queen of Pentacles. Why is it here? This is the base energy, separate. These are the forward. This is where you could go with this. Sky's the limit here with that Fool card that's there. Sky's the motherfucking limit. I got the Fool and the Magician. I mean, I got the Fool, the Magician, and the Empress in one reading. I mean, that's pretty wild. That's pretty cool. And we already had the Hierophant, the High Priest. All we're missing is a High Priestess here, I'll tell you what. All right. Queen of Pentacles, why is that here? Tell me about it. What do you want to tell my viewers about this Queen of Pentacles energy? Separate issue from the base energy, please, universe. Yeah, this is really, really nice. It's crossed by the Queen of Cups. Those are 2 great queens. These are 2 queens that could have tea or lunch together and get along just great. Absolutely no problem. With the Queen of Cups and the environmental energy, there's eliminating this problem, right? Brings in, I want to say, it fills that cup up. Okay, I want to say that it's my Desert Queen. The cup is empty, but it would fill that cup up. It would bring in a new love. It would bring in, how do I phrase this? Well, I'll call it a soul's true purpose love. All right, a true blue soulmate type energy. All right, and I think it's right. It's because it's on the surface energy. It's right there. It's right in the environmental energy. What's on top? The 9 of Wands. Yeah, 9s are the end in tarot. At this point, once you deal with this, the wall comes down, and you can even see the sun on the other side of it, and you can see how this might be small for some of you, but if there's not much of a wall there, there's not much to take care of. That's why you reflect as Empress and Queen of Pentacles a lot in my readings. You are pretty much there. It's right there. You could reach out and touch it, but there's just this one thing. 9s are the end in tarot that's blocking that. Why is the 9 in fact, why is the 9 of Wands here? Yeah, the Fool. I knew it was going to be something like that. These cards are red with this one. This is a Fool. There's your Fool. And then, I mean, it's trying to happen. It frees you to make different decisions, move in different directions. It takes the weights out of the trunk of that car, and it takes off like a rocket down the right road, down your soul's true purpose, down the soul, your path of destiny, if you will. There's just this one little thing here, and it prevents you, whatever this is, prevents you from taking true leaps of faith. All right, and I've covered this 3 of Swords as much as I can. It's up to you to dig and find what it is and not get triggered by what I'm saying. And if you do get triggered by what I'm saying here, there's your sign. Okay, there's your sign that 3 of Swords is in there somewhere, right? And it's probably trying to hide from you. It's moving pretty fast, you know. It's rolling right along. All right, let's pull on the Fool since it came up twice. Let's pull on those leaps of faith, that road. What's down that road? Let's take a look down Fool Avenue here. What's going on with the Fool? Why is it here? Tell me about it. These types of readings come up, this type of thing comes up because it needs to, because it's time. I always say at the beginning of every reading, it's a general reading, may or may not resonate with you, but if you're here for a reason. Yeah, you're here for a reason, right? It's not just about me. It's about you could run into somebody you haven't seen in 20 years at the grocery store or something like that. You know, there's a reason that happened. People glaze over it. They don't look into it. They don't dig any deeper. Well, I mean, why in the hell would you run into that person? You haven't seen them in 20 years or some shit like that. Years and years have gone by. There's a reason for it. There's something they said or something they triggered inside you that's important for you to look at, right? It's important. All right, here we go. The Fool. Why is it here? I'm all done shuffling. We're here to learn. It's important. We don't learn anything by carpet sweeping shit. It just slows us down, and eventually if you leave that, it'll knock you off course. 9 of Cups. Wow. Emotional fulfillment is in the environmental energy of the Fool. Once that wall comes down, once this is taken care of. Emotional fulfillment. It is. I pick up a really, really great soulmate here. Or the same energy could read to me as a soul's true purpose. It could be a career path. It could be maybe you move. I don't know. Maybe you do what you always wanted to do. I have no idea. Ask yourself the question under this energy. It'll help you find that 3 of Swords too. What if I could do it all over again? Right? Have that daydream. If you could do it all over again, if you had a rewind button on your life, like your life was a VCR, right? I mean, I hope it's higher technology than that, but let's say your life was a VCR, right? Hit the rewind button on it. What if you could do it all over again? That kind of thing. Wow. A lot of liberation energy here too. What's on top? The Sun. Happiest card I can pull. I mean, did you expect anything else? Not going to get a devil here, I can tell you that. 6 of Swords, smooth sailing. Basically a minor arcana Sun card in this particular case. Smooth. I got the Fool after everything we talked about. I got you now. Your car has the weights removed from the trunk, right? The weights are out of the trunk. It's flying. It's doing what road and track said it would do. Down your proper path of destiny, which most of you are actually on. And that's why you come up as Empress and Queen of Pentacles a lot in my readings. Most of you are actually on the right path. You're just getting bogged down by whatever that is. And you're refusing to look at it. You probably figure, well, Steve says I'm reflecting as the Empress, so I must be okay. I'll just leave it alone. No, it doesn't mean that. That can always be near future influence when I pull something, right? That's your potential. So, at the end of the day here, it changes your whole life in some way. All right? If there's a lot of clarity on this path once this is cleared, and you can almost relax. If you suffer from anxiety at all, or even depression, this may calm you down quite a bit. I mean, this feels to me like what I would call offline, probably risky to do it online. You don't want to mention drug names and stuff like that, but I call it my volume energy. It's very nice. This is great. Smooth sailing, cruise control on, no traffic, right? It's very nice. So you can see how important this is and why I threw so many cards on it. You know that Sun is there behind that wall. It prevents you in some way from taking leaps of faith, whatever that is. All right, and I know you carpet swept it for a reason because you just don't want to think about it. You feel trapped when you do. It's important to look at it. The energy is conducive right now. The energy is right for you to take care of it. You can become who you might have been in this energy, or you can ask yourself the all-important question here: what if I could do it all over again? What would I do? You'll find your answer if you're unclear about what this is. You'll find your answer in that question. All right? You will, absolutely. Let's see if there's anything else the universe wants to tell you. Divine timing sits at the bottom. It's time to chop that down. All right? Let's go. Let's do it. Like I said at the beginning of this reading, everything in nature, every plant, every animal, every insect, all of it has a purpose. It's there. Human beings do too. It's usually on a higher level. That's all. Everybody's got a dharma. And when you find it, it clicks. In fact, one of the key indicators that you found it is time. You'll lose all sense of time. Something you're working on that you say, I'll be right out in 10 minutes. And then 8 hours later you come out, but to you it seems like only 10 minutes went by. You know, that's the kind of smooth sailing I'm talking about here. Like my guy in the canoe here. He don't have a care in the world, right? Doesn't care. Could be out there, for him, it feels like he's out there 20 minutes. He might be out there 12 hours, you know? My father was like that with his canoe. He loved taking the canoe out. Always did. He'd be gone all day, you know? Just loved that. Well, it's that kind of energy it's there. Like I said, around the Queen of Pentacles, that peaceful, easy feeling kind of thing. This is an issue. You don't want to drive around with weights in your trunk. All right? It's bad for your transmission. I'll tell you that much. You burn out your clutch. Burn out your transmission. Same thing applies to you. I give the car analogies because everyone knows what a car is, right? And then I taught you something about dandelions. There you go. They're not as bad as you thought. It's actually quite healthy to eat, too. My grandfather used to love to eat dandelions. They're great. They're really good for you. Anyway, he got me turned on to those years ago. All right, here we go. What else you want to tell everybody before I go? Give me one card, the crossing card. You got anything to say? Anything at all? Maybe it could just be one person watching. The King of Swords. And the Ace crossed by the Ace of Swords. That's an Ace of Swords down there. Wow. There's an energy attached to you. This is the last. I asked the universe, what else you want to tell everyone here? There's an energy attached to you that has figured out or will sometime this month, probably during the retrograde phase of Aries, will figure out their feelings for you. They're going to have, something's going to hit them in the head. I don't mean literally, but they're going to have some kind of massive epiphany about how they feel about you. I'll tell you what. And I think they're going to make different choices because of it. Because this is the opposite of confusion. And this is confusion. Somebody's been making bad choices in relation to you. Could be somebody you work with. Could be a runner. Could be someone around you that's holding all the feelings. Either way, they're making a different choice. Sometime this month they have some kind of epiphany. And you're going to find out about it. You don't have to do anything. You just be the sitting king. You let information come to you. Okay? This is also in where it pertains to the incoming energy, my king of action. All right. So the universe brought in the incoming energy for you. A little message for maybe a few of you. You know, if it resonates, it's for you. But this is very important. This is for a majority. There's something. Take a look. All right. Take the advice I gave you and how to find it and all of that. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Because the Fool came out here. This is very important. You want to be on this. You want to be in this energy. Trust me. It'll make whatever hell you go through looking at this worth it. You'll look back and go, wow, I'm glad I did that. Right? That's very, very true. This is beautiful energy here. 9 of Cups, crossing the Fool, with the Sun on top of the Fool. And why is the Sun here? Smooth sailing. It's a beautiful day. Right? There you go. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. I've done my best for you. I want to do something a little different this month because the energy's a little different, right? I did the monthlies different. I changed up the reading on the monthlies even. That's how different the energy of this month is. Don't let it pass you by. Energy can only provide you with an opportunity. It's a golden opportunity this month to take care of this, for sure. And definitely pay attention to that Mercury retrograde reading I did. That's very important. All right? All right. That's your reading. I hope it was helpful. Good luck. And again, thanks to anybody that's ever given me a nickel for anything I do around here. It is much appreciated. All right, good luck.